We're here at Snetterton, latest round of British SuperKarts. I popped over to the awning a couple of times, and it's all seemed quite busy. What's been going on since qualifying?
Yeah, we didn't have a good qualifying, to be fair. It was okay in free practice this morning. We put an old set of tyres on. The track was a bit cold, tyre pressure was a little bit low, and I did a decent time, caught up to Lee, and we were both about the same pace. And I thought, yeah, that'll do. For the next race, for the next session, we'll put some better tyres on. I looked at the brake pads and I thought, I'll put some better pads in, and I'll keep the new ones for the race then. So I put some better pads in, but I didn't adjust the pedal correctly, shall I say. So what had happened was when I've gone out, every time I went on the brakes, it wouldn't pivot, the actual bias adjuster. So what was happening was it was locking up on the front, and I had no rear brakes at all. So every time I went on the brakes, it was just locking the fronts up, and there's nothing I could do. So I came in, see what I could see if I could fix anything. I couldn't do anything about it. I needed to do some proper adjustments back at the awning. So we put some new tyres on, just to bed them in for the racing tomorrow, because we've got some other tyres we can use for the race today. So I thought, well, if you just get out there, scrub them in, maybe see if the adjustment's all right, but no, it was still not right, still trying to lock the wheels up. So I just did a semi-decent lap, making sure I didn't flat spot the tyres and stuff, and then just bring it back into the pits.
If you can take any positive out of that, at least you had plenty of time before going out again to get everything sorted. That must have been a little bit of a relief for you going into the next session, just to make sure everything was all okay, ready for then.
Yeah, so we've had plenty of time in between, enough time so we can strip it down, assess it, make some proper adjustments. Also found out on the adjuster one of the springs had snapped, so I fixed that as well. And then we're just looking at the engine now, to see if there's any more little bit of power we can get out of it. So and then go from there. Basically, the kart was handling near enough as I wanted it to. So we changed some geometry after a session this morning to qualifying, and that settled the kart down a lot better. And it's a lot smoother through the corners, especially with the newer tyres on. So I thought, well, I'm happy with that. So it's looking good and promising for the race. Lee's only just in front of me, so damage limitation really for that qualifying.
Yeah, for sure. How important is setup round a circuit like Snetterton? Because you've got some really quick stuff and then some stop-starty bits in the infield, and then two very long straights which make up a lot of time, don't they?
It's quite key actually at Snetterton, because it's quite smooth, and also the aerodynamics. There's a problem this weekend where you've got kind of a crosswind, and that's why it's an old airfield. So when you're going around certain corners, you'll have no wind, and all of a sudden the Amco barrier disappears, and then you've got a head-on wind, so it's throwing the back end out. So dialing in the aerodynamics and also changing the mechanical grip of it as well. Like I say, it's just dialing it in, and then it's a lot better now. So yeah.
What's the expectation for the races coming up?
Win it, really.
Yeah. That sounds like a good plan. I like the sound of that.
Like I said, there was nothing between me and Lee, so it'd be out and out race pace. See if he can hold on to the end with me. No, promising, very promising. The way it was going, the speed, yeah, it's not too good down the back straight. But when to the end of qualifying, Lee come past me. I was messing about with the brake bias, and then as soon as he come past me, I thought, oh, I'll pull in behind you. And down the straight, I then got back into his toe, and it pulled me along, and I thought, well, that's far enough for the race. And then I followed him through Coram, and I could see how much was catching him through there. So what I could gather, I was happy. Yeah.
Absolutely. Sounds good. Best of luck for the rest of the weekend.
Oh, thank you very much.